In 2021, mental health resources are becoming more and more available to those who are struggling and in need. With self-help phone lines, online chat rooms, health centers, as well as many other forms of support increasing in popularity more and more as people become greater educated and more aware of the tragic issue. Though we as a society are becoming more aware of this issue and are attempting to slow the progression and prevent any serious repercussions, once in a while, there will be a case where somebody in need of serious help may slip through the cracks. In the early hours of November 15th, 2010, in Lewis Park, Minnesota, USA, 17-year-old Michael Swanson decided to steal his mother's Jeep before leaving home without his mother's knowledge. Michael then drove over 250 miles south to a family cabin in Iowa, USA. Upon his arrival, Michael noticed his grandfather sleeping in a chair. He also noticed a hunting rifle and a handgun, which were left to dry after hunting in a snowstorm. Michael then ate food from the fridge, grabbed both firearms, and continued back to his mother's Jeep. He then drove his mother's Jeep to a series of gas stations in Humboldt, Iowa and Algona, Iowa, where he shot and killed both Sheila Myers and Vicky Bowman Hall at point-blank range. Shortly after, he was arrested and taken into custody, which is just about where we are now.
Can you get him a Pepsi? Please. Take a couple minutes and get me some food. That's okay. Mike, as I told you, I'm a police officer. I'm with the DCI. I got some other people coming here to help us kind of get this whole thing figured out, okay?
Okay.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right.
Okay.
I'm tired. I haven't slept in like 4 days, so...
You haven't slept for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. If you need to use the restroom or anything like that, just let me know.
Okay.
So you ordered some food at McDonald's and now that's cold, huh?
Yeah.
Guess I didn't ask you if you wanted a cigarette or anything like that.
If I can, yeah.
Despite Michael being under the legal age limit to smoke cigarettes, it seems as though the officers wanted to make Michael feel as comfortable as possible before engaging in any real questioning.
I don't smoke, but if one of these officers has a cigarette, we might...
There's a whole carton in the car.
Pardon?
There's a whole carton in the car.
I'm assuming this is probably no smoking building, but sometimes people probably break the smoking law without it. I think somebody's getting me a pot for a second.
I'll be right back.
Somebody getting that pop? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because they were going to get the Pepsi one.
Hey, Don? Hey, Don? Might be out of luck on the cigarette part, because I don't think anybody here smokes. Sorry about that. No, hold on a second. Got that guy bringing me a sandwich. I could probably... I was going to have you grab a quick pack of cigarettes and a book of matches. Any kind of cigarettes, probably. I don't know. You have a preference? Any kind.
Newport.
Pardon?
Newport.
Pardon, Newport, he says. That's what he said. And get a book of matches, too.
Since this video has started, Michael has been given 1 pack of Newport cigarettes, a book of matches, 1 bottle of pop, a McChicken sandwich, and an order of French fries. Throughout the time that I've spent researching these interrogations, this treatment seems notably generous in comparison to others. Especially when considering that just 2 hours ago, this young man killed 2 innocent women.
How you doing today, Mike?
I could be better.
Could be better. Yeah, that's what I understand. I know it's been a long night. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you my card so you know who I am and who you're talking to. My name is Mike Krappel. I'm a police officer here in the state of Iowa, and just wanted to sit down and talk to you a little bit if that's okay with you.
I'm just going to speed this part up while the investigator reads Michael his rights and finishes his introduction.
You looks like you're 17 years old?
Yep.
Going on 18?
Getting there.
Getting there? 17 and a half, aren't you?
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay. You all done with school?
I'm a junior. I held back.
Okay. Where do you go to school at?
I have the 912 program, Central Community Center. It's alternative school.
It's a grown-up school?
It's an alternative.
Alternative school. What'd you call it? Community center?
Yeah, Central Community Center.
Where did you go to school before you dropped out?
I went to, I got expelled in junior high, and then that's when I started going there.
Okay. How come you got expelled?
I did acid, and I went to school. I took my pants off in class.
Take your pants off in class? Okay. How come you took your pants off? Just to kind of screw around?
I don't know. I was just high as hell, and it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Okay. Okay. Are you on any medication right now?
Not yet.
Huh?
They talk about putting me on like a Abilify for bipolar.
Okay. So you're not taking any medication right now? Did you go to a doctor and were you diagnosed with being bipolar at some point? Okay. When was that? Do you know?
Like a month ago.
Okay. So are you supposed to be on some medication?
They've been talking about it. They just like don't want to like make the jump right now.
Okay. So you haven't been prescribed anything?
They just talked about putting me on Abilify.
Abilify, which is also known as aripiprazole, is a fairly common antipsychotic medication, which is primarily used to treat schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. This medication also has a history of use treating depression and Tourette's syndrome.
Okay.
Which is what was probably going to happen.
Okay. Okay. Any other medications you're supposed to be on or anything?
I took Adderall for a while, but not anymore.
Okay. What do you take that for?
ADHD.
Adderall is a medication that is classified as a stimulant. It is most commonly used to treat the condition mentioned here, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. However, it is also used to treat other conditions like narcolepsy.
Okay. And when did you quit taking that?
Like 3 years ago.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. What about any alcohol or drugs? When's the last time you drank some alcohol?
Yesterday.
Okay. What did you drink yesterday?
Some vodka.
How much did you have yesterday?
I don't even know. I'd have to look at the bottle. It was in the car.
You had a full bottle in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever's left in the bottle?
Well, there's 2 bottles. One of them was almost empty. I didn't drink any of that one. And there's the other one, which I think is like half full.
Okay. So you drank maybe half a bottle of vodka yesterday? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Nothing today?
No.
Okay. Okay. So in terms of drugs and alcohol, you feel okay to talk to me today? I mean, you understand what we're talking about and everything like that? Okay. So it's been at least a day since you've had any alcohol, and it looks like, what about drugs? Have you had any drugs?
Well, I just got out of lockup, so it's been a few months since.
It's been a few months since you've had any?
Yeah, since like July, since I've done any drugs.
Okay. Okay. So what was the last drug you did back in July?
Just marijuana.
Okay.
I was doing a lot of stuff, though.
Okay. Is that before lockup?
Yeah.
Okay, what were you doing before lockup? And you're not, I'm not doing a drug investigation here or anything.
Like pretty much everything. I was doing ecstasy.
You said acid before, were you doing some acid?
Acid and mushrooms.
Okay.
Just like popping some other pills.
Okay. So you're doing a little bit of experimenting, huh?
Well, I've done drugs for a long time.
Oh, have you? Since how old?
Since I was like 12.
Really? Okay. You ever get any treatment, or anybody ever give you some help for it?
I was locked up at the hospital like 4 times, and then like I had to do some outpatient stuff.
Okay. Okay. That's some tough stuff to beat, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I never really tried to beat it, so.
Okay. First of all, you got to hit bottom, and you got to reach that point where you want to try.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes people a lot longer. You're still pretty young, though. So, yeah, I've talked to a lot of people that have been through that, and it seems like they got to fight, and eventually they hit the point where they want to get better, and you're probably not quite there yet. So, okay. But it looks like you got something to eat here, so you good to go that way?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. When's the last time you slept?
Like 4 days ago.
4 days ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, like, I mean, sometimes I just can't sleep at all.
Okay.
And then like other times I sleep way too much.
Okay. So you haven't slept in 4 days?
I don't know, I fell asleep a couple of times when I was driving, but only for like a couple seconds.
Okay. Tonight you mean you fell asleep, or when?
Like today and yesterday.
Okay.
But not for very long.
Okay. How do you feel right now? Do you feel tired, or do you feel kind of energized?
Like, I don't know, like, I'm awake, but I don't know, it's just kind of weird.
Okay. Okay. My understanding is that they stopped and talked to you down at McDonald's here in town?
They didn't really talk to me.
They didn't really talk to you?
Put me in the car.
Okay.
And there's like, I don't know, there's like 20 police cars there, so
Was
they
there?
kind of talk to each other.
Okay. Well, I'd kind of like to talk to you a little bit about what happened tonight and stuff like that. Can you tell me what happened tonight? There's, we could just pick a time, like maybe, say, 5 o'clock this afternoon.
I don't even remember what happened at 5 o'clock.
Okay. Well, tell me what you did today. Can you tell me what you did when you woke up
Everything
today?
today?
Yeah. Just kind of.
Well, I didn't even wake up, so I guess it's a continuation from yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, just since this morning, kind of nice and slow, where you woke up this morning and kind of what you did today.
Well, like, I'd been at my cabin last night. I drove up there. That's like way up north Minnesota.
Okay.
And I drove back down to St. Louis Park. And I was just kicking it with my friends.
And then what'd you do?
And like, I know I was going to get locked up again because I violated my probation. So, like, I had a car. I had a gun. And I started driving south. I ended up in Iowa.
And then what happened?
I robbed some store.
Okay. Where was that at?
I don't even remember what city it was in.
Okay. Was it a gas station? Do you remember what kind? The name?
No.
Okay.
Well, I think it was a coming though, but I don't even remember. I don't even remember what the people looked like.
So you drove down from St. Louis Park tonight?
Yeah.
And what were you driving?
My mom's Jeep.
Okay. And what time did you leave St. Louis Park?
I want to say about 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock p.m.?
But I don't know, that's just a guess. Yeah, I think I was there at 5 o'clock, but...
Okay. Tell me how you got down to Iowa.
I took Highway 169. I stayed on that highway.
Okay. So you took does 169 go all the way to St. Louis Park?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know where it starts, but I think it goes all the way down to, like, Mexico.
Okay. So you didn't come down the interstate, you came down 169?
I don't know the difference. I don't know.
Okay, so you drove down 169.
Yeah. And like I had the gun, so like I could go in and I could get some money.
Okay. What kind of gun did you have?
A Beretta, something.
Okay. Where'd you get that gun?
A cabin.
Your cabin up in northern Minnesota?
Yeah.
Okay. Whose gun is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was in a box up there.
Is it your parents' cabin?
Like, I don't know, it's like my entire family's cabin, so.
Okay. So are you assuming that it's one of your family members' guns, or?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the ammunition?
It was on it there.
Okay. Did you have to load it at some point?
It was all in the clip, so I just had to put it in the gun.
You put it in the gun? Where did you do that at?
At the cabin.
At the cabin? Okay. So when you drove down today, you had that loaded gun with you the whole day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, there was never a bullet in the chamber until I went in the store, though.
Okay.
So, you know, you have, like, cock your back.
Okay. So it's a semi-automatic one. You gotta put one in the chamber, basically.
Unfortunately, the quality of this interrogation footage only disintegrates past this point. However, I was able to salvage some notable moments from where Michael speaks about the encounter with the victims.
I'm always curious, how did it feel when you pulled the trigger? I mean, some people say that, you know, it feels powerful, or that it's kind of a rush, or what did you feel when you pulled the trigger?
I felt powerful, but, like, I don't know, I just didn't really care.
Didn't care, okay. How else did you feel?
It had no effect on me. I just didn't even care. No, I don't know, I just felt like my adrenaline was pumping, I felt good.
Okay. How do you feel now? Do you feel the same, or has it changed a little bit?
Not really.
Not really?
I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, sometimes people get shot.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell me what this clerk in this gas station looked like? Was it a white lady or a black lady?
It was a white lady. I think she was kind of older, though.
Kind of older? Okay. And do you remember, can you describe her hair or her face at all?
I think she had darker hair. I think it might have been kind of gray, but that's why I think she was older. But
Okay.
I don't really remember her face though.
Okay. When you say older, are you about how old?
I'd say like 50s or 60s.
50s or 60s. Okay. Was she a skinny girl or heavy set?
I don't even know. I don't really remember what she looked like.
Okay. Do you remember what she was wearing?
I think she was wearing, I don't know, I want to say like an apron.
Some type of
A
apron?
red apron, I think.
Was it like part of a uniform that they wear, or?
That's what I think, but I don't remember. I think it had that on it.
Okay. Like a red, like Come and Go logo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay. And where did you shoot?
On the body?
Yeah.
In the face.
In the face? Okay. Why in the face? Did you do that on purpose?
Well, I don't know. It just seems like it's final.
It was final? Okay. You knew for the fact that she'd be dead if you shot her in the face?
More than likely.
Okay. Okay. And why did you want her to be dead as opposed to just be injured?
I don't know. It's just... I don't know, like... If I was just going to shoot to injure her, why would I shoot her at all? I don't know. I don't know. That's like what I'm thinking right now, but I don't know back about then.
Okay. So after you shot her, did you see how she fell?
I think she said something when I shot her. Like, I don't know, like, on her feet, it made, I don't know, some noise. And she just fell down. She just kind of fell on the ground. And I walked to the car.
Okay. You said that she made some type of noise. What type of noise did she make?
Something like kind of like a half scream, half gasp.
Okay. Can you imitate it? I mean, I know you can't do it perfectly, but...
I don't know, it just kind of sounded like she was surprised. It was like, ouch! I don't know.
Okay.
Because I didn't last very long, but I remember she said something.
Okay.
Made some type of noise.
Okay. And you said that you walked out of the gas station here?
Yeah. Like, I ain't like you in the fast, so I just kind of like walked, put it in my hand, bag in the hoodie.
Okay.
Walked to the car, got in, drove away.
Okay. Were you worried about getting caught at that point?
Not really. And I figured I was going to continue going down 169, and then eventually I'd be out of Iowa.
Okay. Okay. And is that what you did? Did you keep going down 169?
Yeah, and then I ended up in Fort Dodge, I think it was.
Okay.
I got lost there. I was there for like 45 minutes just driving around in circles.
In Fort Dodge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there myself. Like, it's an easy town to get lost in. So when you went to Fort Dodge, were you going to look for another gas station to do it again?
It was just like 169 went through it or something.
Okay.
Or like, no, I actually think there's a detour. There's some construction on the road, and then it ended up in Fort Dodge.
Okay.
And I was just trying to get out of there.
Okay. So there were no gas stations there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If there had been a gas station, were you going to do
Well,
it?
like, I saw gas stations, and like, at that point I figured that was probably enough.
Okay. Okay. So when you got to Fort Dodge, were you gonna go to another gas station?
I went to a hotel at first. Like, I was going to try and go to sleep. But then, like, I don't know, I didn't have a credit card, so they got me in a room.
Okay.
So then, like, I don't know, I went back in the car, and I was gonna go do some food. And I went to Fort Dodge. I got lost, and eventually I left there, followed some other car, ended up in whatever city it was that McDonald's was in where I got picked up at.
Okay. So when you were in McDonald's, you were going to get some food?
Yeah. No, I was gonna, like, I had my sleeping bag all stuff out in the car, and I was going to eat and go to sleep.
Okay.
I was going to try to go to sleep.
In the parking lot of McDonald's?
Somewhere. I was going to try and go somewhere, like, I don't know, like, more hidden.
More hidden?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you figure that the police were looking for you at that time?
Well, I figure, like, they probably don't know who I am, but they probably know, like, what the car looks like, and I don't know what license plate or...
Okay. Were you going to try to get rid of the car or anything, or the gun or anything like that?
Well, I just thought it sounds like if I can find somewhere to hide and go to sleep, and the next morning, I'll probably be out of Iowa in like an hour or something.
Okay. You were just going to keep driving south?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you going to keep robbing places, or what was your goal?
If I had run out of money, I'd have probably done it again. I don't know.
How many times did you shoot her?
One time.
Just one time? Shoot in the face? Okay. Okay. I want to be clear. One of the things I like to do is to understand why things happen, and some people probably ask me why this happened.
I think part of it's because I didn't sleep for like 4 days, and like, I don't want to say like I was manic, but I don't know.
Okay. How do you feel right now?
About what? Like,
Do you feel manic right now, or do you feel pretty normal?
I feel normal. I just feel like I need to get some sleep.
Okay. Okay.
I think I'm burnt out now.
Immediately after this interrogation, Michael Swanson was formally charged with the murders of Sheila Myers and Vicki Bowman Hall. He was then escorted to his cell, and his bail was set at $1 million.
All smiles as he walks into a courtroom, but tonight, this teenager from St. Louis Park is charged in a killing spree across the Iowa border. Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Jeff Passelt.
And I'm Heidi Collins. 17-year-old Michael Swanson sitting behind bars tonight on $1 million bail.
It all started in Algona, Iowa, about 3 hours southwest of the metro, and Fox 9's Leah Bino has been in that area all day talking to the victim's family. So, Leah, pretty heartbreaking story and unbelievable.
Yes, it really is, and it seems these two ladies worked at stores that were really at the center of their small towns. There is farmland around this area for miles, and it seems everyone knew these ladies, and a lot of people are missing them already.
To everybody that knew her, She was like a mom to everybody.
With 11 children and 7 grandchildren, taking care of family was everything to 47-year-old Vicki Bowman Hall.
She worked as hard as she could to make sure that the family was taken care of and well fed. Make sure everyone had everything they needed.
A couple of her kids say she worked at the Crossroads gas station and convenience store in Alagona for roughly 6 years and never missed a day of work.
She's worked at, several different, gas station jobs, but that's because she loved people. And
but yeah, last night she was training someone and she sent them home early, and the girl that she was training came in, she was crying and she felt really bad. She said, "Your mom saved my life by sending me home early." And
minutes later, investigators say a man wearing a ski mask walked into the store and demanded Bowman Hall put cash and cigarettes into a duffel bag. She did, and he shot her.
She was shot in the cheek and went through. It took him 40 minutes for someone to find her, and that she was fighting the whole entire time. And
25 miles south, a similar scene. 61-year-old Sheila Myers was shot and killed while working behind the counter at the Come and Go in Humboldt. One of her daughters told us off camera she's been a clerk at the store for 13 years.
She was the best, just like any mom, She knew almost everybody that came in the store. It's been a really rough day.
After a report about a suspicious car at a McDonald's even further south, police arrested 17-year-old Michael Swanson from St. Louis Park. We caught up with him laughing his way into his first court appearance.
So why did you come to Iowa?
I don't know.
What's so funny? You're smiling.
Y'all are funny.
Michael's remorseless demeanor continued throughout his entire legal process. His recurring smile became somewhat of a sadistic trademark of his, while he seemed to genuinely enjoy the attention he was receiving from the situation. Michael remained in custody until his 2 trials took place the following year in June of 2011.
Dramatic testimony and shocking pictures brought into evidence today in the Michael Swanson murder trial. Prosecutors say back on November 15th, Swanson drove to Humboldt, robbed a convenience store, and killed the clerk, Sheila Myers. News Channel 8's Patrick Bell has a complete wrap-up of today's events from Carroll County.
The first full day of testimony in the murder trial of Minnesota teen Michael Swanson was packed with compelling testimony and new evidence. Case in point, police dashcam video taken hours after 2 convenience store clerks were murdered. The pictures show a calm Michael Swanson being taken into custody at a Webster City McDonald's after workers there spotted a suspicious vehicle. Inside Swanson's stolen Jeep Cherokee, officers testified they found a ski mask, clothing, and weapons, including a handgun wedged between the driver's seat and console. DCI agents compared bullets in that gun to a shell casing found near the body of convenience store clerk Sheila Myers inside of a Humboldt Come and Go, and agents told the court those tests provided a conclusive match. But perhaps the most interesting testimony was delivered by the suspect's good friend. Denny Seglet told jurors hours before the murder of those convenience store clerks, he and Swanson met at a Minnesota park.
So he lifts up his shirt, and in his waistband there was a pistol. He said that he had gone to the family cabin, broke in, and stolen it.
DCI agents also testified it appeared that Myers was shot from a distance of approximately 2 feet. Now, both the Myers family and the Swanson family were in court today, and both appeared visibly upset when those graphic crime scene pictures were shown to jurors. Testimony will resume tomorrow morning. Back to you.
And Swanson's attorney will try to prove insanity in the murder case.
But experts say the odds of proving insanity aren't really that good. News Channel 8's Todd Magel continues trial coverage. It's a story that's new tonight. Todd?
Well, Kevin, you don't have to look too far here in Iowa to find that juries rarely buy into an insanity defense. The trouble is, defendants like Swanson have to prove that they are insane, and that is almost impossible.
It is a very, very difficult defense.
Well-known Des Moines defense attorney Bill Cutma says double murder suspect Michael Swanson may very well be mentally ill. But in Iowa, that's not enough to be legally insane.
Insanity is not a medical concept within the law. It's a legal concept. In other words, if an individual is insane, let's say schizophrenic, paranoid, has dementia, Alzheimer's, all those mental defects, if that individual can distinguish between right and wrong, despite the illness, despite the disease, and he understands the quality and nature of his acts, he is legally sane.
Swanson's attorney is trying to convince the jury that Swanson doesn't know the difference between right and wrong.
You cannot hold him legally responsible for a condition he's born with, and that's exactly what happened.
He can present a psychiatrist and say that, oh, he's schizophrenic, and then in cross-examination, well, wait a minute, he drove his car, didn't he? And he turned left at such and such a street, and he knew what he was doing. Well, I'm afraid his insanity defense has just been blown.
In Iowa, the insanity defense is rarely used, and it rarely works. Take, for example, the case of Mark Becker in Northeast Iowa.
We find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree.
Last year, a jury didn't buy Becker's defense that he was insane when he killed his high school football coach, Ed Thomas, in Parkersburg. And the year before, Michelle Kehoe tried to prove she was insane when she killed one of her sons in Littleton. So history is not on Swanson's side.
He may be mentally ill, but to hurdle the legal concept, the legal definition is going to be one awful laboring oar. Trust me.
During his trials, Michael's defense team initially sought out a plea of insanity due to the prolonged history of Michael's untreated mental health issues. However, partway through the trial for the murder of Sheila Myers, Michael requested to have his insanity plea changed to a guilty plea to the counts of first-degree murder and first-degree robbery. Michael also requested that he would be swiftly sentenced by the judge.
2 months into your 18th year, and you have 4 gray walls to look forward to for the rest of your life.
Smiling and smirking, Michael Swanson appeared in 2 Iowa courtrooms today to learn his fate, and he got an earful.
And you have put my family, the other family, and your family through hell.
Swanson was sentenced in Fort Dodge for the murder of Sheila Myers in Humboldt. He also pled guilty in Algona to the murder of Vicki Bowman Hall. Good afternoon, everyone. We have team coverage from both courtrooms.
First to Angie Hunt live in Algona, and Angie, Swanson spoke for the first time today.
That's right, Cynthia. This was the first time we actually heard from Michael Swanson. As part of this process to change his plea to guilty, he actually had to admit to the court that he shot and killed Vicki Bowman Hall, threw out any claim that he had to an insanity defense, and then describe how he walked into this convenience store that night with a gun, first demanding cigarettes and then money.
I then intentionally, deliberately, and with premeditation shot the clerk, causing her to die. I did this with a specific intent to kill her.
Again, in order to change his plea to guilty as he did today, Swanson had to answer several questions from the judge to make sure he understood what he was admitting to and that he was giving up his rights to a trial. Swanson sat stoically throughout much of the hearing, simply answering yes or no to the judge's questions. In addition to the plea change, Swanson requested to be sentenced today as well. That gave the family of Vicki Bowman Hall a chance to give victim impact statements. 2 of Bowman Hall's sisters read brief statements, and her daughter Jillian shared several memories of her mother in an emotional statement. Jillian told Swanson that her mother was a hard worker who did everything for her children and family, and repeatedly questioned how he could just sit there and show no remorse.
How could you do what you did to my mom and my family? I want to know if you're even sorry. Are you sorry for what you did? My mom was not only completely 100% innocent, but she was also a defenseless woman when you came in with that gun. You said you did it for cigarettes and money and so no one could identify you, but I think that's a lie. You did it, as you later said on, that it was so you could feel powerful. How could killing a defenseless woman and an outright execution be powerful or fair? My mom did nothing to you.
Again, throughout most of this afternoon's hearing, Swanson just sat there very quietly, stoically, as the victim impact statements were read. That was until the judge started to hand down his sentence. That's when the judge Swanson started to smile. Now, the judge quickly told Swanson to quit his smiling and reminded the team that he was still under the judge's jurisdiction. You'll hear more from the judge, as well as from Bowman Hall's daughter, coming up later tonight at 6. Now, Swanson was sentenced to life in prison. The county attorney here in Kossuth County actually asked that serve concurrently with the other life sentence he received today in Humboldt. That's a little different. Typically, they'll ask that be consecutively, but he said he wanted to make sure that he was serving both of those sentences so that in essence he didn't serve one and never serve that second life sentence. Cynthia?
So much emotion in there to Angie. It must have been hard to watch. Thank you.
Now we go to Carrie Gavin, just back from Fort Dodge, where that other life sentence was handed down. Carrie.
Kevin, today Swanson didn't talk, but he did smirk and smile, and he got an earful from the judge.
I'll tell you what I think. It's cold-blooded murder. Cold-blooded murder, young man.
As Michael Swanson was sentenced, he grinned, smiled, and laughed. But when he came into the courtroom, he appeared emotionless as he walked past Sheila Myers' family, the woman he murdered. Myers' husband of 37 years broke down in tears as the prosecutor read his statement.
When I watch TV at night, it's extremely lonely because there's no one to talk to, no one to go to bed with, and no one to wake up with in the morning. And we can't forget that this is about Sheila Myers. Not about the system failing Michael Swanson, and not about how something must be wrong with Michael Swanson.
The state asked that Swanson's robbery count run consecutive to his life sentence for first-degree murder. 18-year-old Swanson chose not to speak, but his attorney said the murder was avoidable.
You've got a doctor who puts in his report that without antipsychotic medication, he's going to rob people, he's going to use weapons and commit violent acts, yet they let him out without any kind of medication. I mean, that to me is the failure of the system in this case.
The judge called the case sad and senseless.
Cold-blooded murder, young man. And your counsel wants us to believe that you lack the capacity, that you were insane. And I don't buy into that. You are dangerous. You are unpredictable. And there is no place for you in an open, law-abiding society. Prison for the rest of your life is the only alternative, and the court intends to follow through.
As he left the courtroom, Swanson smiled once again. Myers' daughter said it was still hard to see.
I think he just have a heart and soul, actually. There's nothing there. There's just emptiness, really.
Yeah. Robin at one point made a comment that he was a shell of a boy. Just a shell. There's nothing inside.
In addition to life in prison, Swanson will also have to pay $150,000 in restitution to Sheila Myers' family.
So much of these proceedings, both yours and the one that Angie was telling us about, are about families and the impact on the families and stuff like that. But what about Swanson's family? Did they have anything to say?
Well, Kevin, they weren't in court today, so they didn't
Really?
have anything to say.
Interesting. And he, of course, didn't have anything to say either. Thank you very much, Carrie. So here's what's next for Swanson now. He will be transferred to the Oakdale Penitentiary in Coralville for formal intake proceedings. That'll take about 30 to 45 days, and it will be determined where he will serve his sentence. He has no chance for parole.
At the resolution of Michael's legal proceedings, Michael Swanson was assessed in order to determine which institution he should reside. On July 7th, 2011, Michael was committed to the Iowa Medical and Classification Center. Michael's incarceration is set to end on April 1st, 2089.
Two months into your 18th year, and you have 4 gray walls to look forward to for the rest of your life.